Hello, everyone. Today, let's find out, forget sardines. Eat this food to build muscle, naturally and prevent muscle loss. If you're over 60, you've probably heard that sardines or eggs are the key to keeping muscle. You go for long evening walks, eat a can of sardines or 10 eggs a day, thinking you're doing the right thing. However, your body is weakening. Why? Because building muscle isn't just about protein, it's about the right kind of protein. I'm Dr. Berg, with 25 years of experience helping seniors reverse muscle loss. I've seen simple changes restore the strength you thought you'd lost. Stay tuned. I'll reveal 4 canned foods that beat sardines and 1 pantry staple that's sabotaging you. Comment below. What foods do you think are keeping you strong? All right. So let's dive into the core of our discussion today. The 4 canned superfoods that will redefine your fight against muscle loss. We're going to go through them one by one, and I'll show you not only why they work, but exactly how to incorporate them into your life for maximum results. Food number 1 is canned mushrooms. Now, let's begin with a choice that might make you raise an eyebrow. Mushrooms. When we think of protein, our minds usually jump to meat, fish, or eggs. But the humble mushroom, sitting quietly in its can on the grocery store shelf, is one of nature's most overlooked powerhouses for senior health. For years, it's been praised for its flavor and versatility, but its role as a muscle-building ally has been a well-kept secret. The truth is, these fungi pack a nutritional punch that leaves many so-called health foods in the dust. Let's look at the numbers. That can of sardines you've been told to eat might give you about 10, maybe 12 grams of protein. It's not bad, but it's not great either. A single cup of cooked mushrooms, which you can easily get from a can, provides you with about 12 to 15 grams of high-quality protein. On paper, it's already a competitor. But the real magic of mushrooms isn't just in the protein count. It's in everything else they bring to the table. They offer a complete package of muscle-supporting nutrients with virtually 0 cholesterol and minimal calories, something no can of sardines can claim. Here's the secret benefit that most people, even many nutritionists, don't realize. Mushrooms are exceptionally rich in potassium. Now, why does that matter for your muscles? Potassium is like the traffic cop for your muscular system. It helps regulate nerve signals and ensures your muscles contract properly. As we age, maintaining potassium levels becomes critical. A slight deficiency can lead to those sudden, painful muscle cramps in your legs or feet, the kind that wake you up in the middle of the night. More importantly, it can affect your overall muscle function and strength. But that's not all. Mushrooms are also a fantastic source of selenium. Think of selenium as a bodyguard for your muscle tissue. When you exercise, even just by walking or doing chores around the house, your muscles undergo a process called oxidative stress. You can think of it like a tiny amount of rusting. Selenium is a powerful antioxidant that protects your muscle cells from this damage, allowing them to repair faster and grow stronger. It reduces inflammation and helps your body recover. And then there are the B vitamins, particularly B6 and folate. These vitamins are the workers on the construction site of your body. They are essential for protein metabolism, which means they help your body take the protein you eat from foods like mushrooms and actually use it to build and repair muscle tissue. Without enough B vitamins, the protein you consume can't do its job effectively. The science on this is becoming clearer every year. There was a compelling study that followed a group of seniors for 12 weeks. These weren't young athletes. They were people just like you. The participants were put on a simple resistance training program. Nothing too strenuous. The only significant difference was that one group supplemented their diet with specific mushroom extracts. Researchers meticulously measured their muscle mass, strength, and recovery markers. The results were remarkable. The group consuming the mushroom supplements experienced, on average, an 18% greater increase in lean muscle mass compared to the control group. 18%. They also reported 23% faster recovery times, meaning less soreness and more energy for their next day. The study concluded that the unique combination of amino acids and bioactive compounds in mushrooms, like the beta-glucans, which fight inflammation, creates an environment in the body that is perfect for synthesizing new muscle protein. This modern science is actually just catching up to ancient wisdom. In Japanese culture, mushrooms have been revered for centuries not just as food, but as medicine. Traditional Japanese laborers and even the legendary samurai regularly consumed mushrooms like shiitake. They noticed through generations of practical experience that these foods helped them maintain incredible strength and endurance during physically demanding work. This wasn't documented in a scientific journal. It was wisdom passed down because it worked. It kept them strong. And now we know why. So, how do you easily bring this power into your kitchen? Canned mushrooms make it incredibly simple. They're already cooked, affordable, and can be stored for months. For a powerhouse breakfast, try this. Sauté 1 cup of mixed canned mushrooms with a big handful of spinach. Once they're golden, scramble in 3 eggs and 1/4 cup of cottage cheese. This single meal provides a fantastic blend of proteins, B vitamins, and that muscle-supporting potassium to fuel your morning. For lunch, you can create a delicious topping for a salad. Grill or pan-fry some sliced chicken, then mix it with cooked mushrooms, chickpeas, and a dollop of Greek yogurt. The chicken provides the primary protein, while the mushrooms add that crucial selenium and potassium for optimal muscle function and recovery. And for dinner, a simple and hearty stir-fry. Combine lean chicken breast with shiitake and button mushrooms, some broccoli, and serve it over a small portion of brown rice. This nutrient-dense meal gives your body a sustained release of high-quality protein and bioactive compounds overnight, which is the prime time for muscle repair. Food number 2 is canned tuna. Now, for our second food, we turn to a familiar friend in the pantry, but one that is far more powerful than you might have been led to believe. Canned tuna. It's affordable, it's convenient, and when it comes to pure, unadulterated protein, it's in a league of its own. Let's make a direct comparison again. We've established that a can of sardines gives you a decent, but not spectacular amount of protein. A standard 1 to 2 ounce serving of canned tuna, however, contains an impressive 25 to 30 grams of complete protein. That's nearly 40% more protein per serving. This isn't just any protein, it's high-quality, complete protein, meaning it contains all 9 essential amino acids that your body cannot produce on its own. These are the fundamental building blocks your muscles desperately need to grow and repair. For aging muscles, the efficiency of protein absorption is key, and the protein in tuna is incredibly bioavailable, making it exceptionally effective for seniors fighting sarcopenia. This directly supports the growth of muscle fibers and helps you maintain the strength you need to stay independent, active, and vibrant. But again, the story doesn't end with the protein count. Here's what most seniors don't know about that simple can of tuna. It is loaded with selenium and B vitamins, even more so than mushrooms, particularly vitamin B12 and niacin. We already know selenium acts as an antioxidant, protecting your muscles, but vitamin B12 is absolutely critical for nerve function. As we age, our ability to absorb B12 from food can decrease, leading to deficiencies that many seniors don't even know they have. A B12 deficiency can affect your muscle coordination, your balance, and your overall energy levels. By eating canned tuna, you are directly supporting the nervous system that commands your muscles. These nutrients work together to optimize protein metabolism, which means your body becomes more efficient at using the protein you eat. It's like having a better engine in your car. You get more mileage out of the same amount of fuel. The protein isn't wasted. It's put to work building stronger muscles. The scientific evidence supporting this is robust. A significant study followed 180 seniors diagnosed with sarcopenia over a period of 8 months. One group was instructed to consume high-protein fish like tuna 3 times a week. The other group, the control group, continued with their standard diet. The results were astounding. The group eating the high-protein fish gained an average of 4.1 pounds of lean muscle mass. The control group gained just 1.2 pounds. That's more than 3 times the muscle gain, simply by making a conscious choice to include protein-rich fish in their diet. This isn't about miracle pills or expensive supplements. It's about the power of real food. And just like with mushrooms, this is a truth that has been understood for millennia, long before we had scientific labs to prove it. For over 3,000 years, traditional Mediterranean cultures have relied on preserved fish like tuna to maintain strength and vitality in their elders. Fishermen in coastal communities in places like Greece and Italy knew that tuna could sustain them through the aging process. It was a cornerstone of their diet that kept them strong and active well into their later years. They didn't know about amino acid profiles or vitamin B12, but they saw the results in their own families and communities. They saw their elders remain robust and capable, and they passed that dietary wisdom down through the generations. Incorporating this into your daily routine is incredibly easy. For breakfast, don't be afraid to think outside the box. Mix some flaked canned tuna into your scrambled eggs along with spinach and those mushrooms we just talked about. It creates a savory, incredibly high-protein start to your day. For lunch, a classic tuna salad is hard to beat, but let's upgrade it. Mix your tuna with white beans for extra fiber and plant-based protein, chopped celery and red onion for crunch, and use Greek yogurt instead of mayonnaise for a creamy texture with even more protein. Serve it over a bed of mixed greens. For dinner, you can make wonderful tuna patties or mix them into a whole wheat pasta dish with roasted vegetables and a light tomato sauce. These are not complicated gourmet meals. They are simple, satisfying, and they supercharge your muscle-building results, providing far more protein per serving than almost any other convenient fish option available. Food number 3 is canned beef. Now, we arrive at our third food, and this one is a true nutritional heavyweight, canned beef. For some, this might bring to mind old-fashioned meals or emergency rations, but I want you to see it in a new light, as one of the most potent, protein-dense tools you can have in your arsenal against muscle loss. It is a metabolic catalyst ready to deliver high-quality, bioavailable protein to your muscles within hours of consumption. Let's look at the numbers again. While a can of sardines might offer 10 to 15 grams of protein, a standard 3-ounce serving of canned beef provides a massive 25 to 28 grams of complete high-quality protein. This makes it one of the most protein-dense foods readily available. It delivers all 9 essential amino acids your muscles need to grow and repair, providing the raw materials for your muscle growth in a concentrated, easy-to-use form. The heme iron found abundantly in beef enhances oxygen transport to your working muscles, fighting fatigue, and improving your stamina during daily activities. It also contains a natural source of creatine, a compound famous in the fitness world for supporting powerful muscle contractions during exercise. But the visible benefits are just the beginning. Here's what most seniors don't realize about canned beef. It is loaded with zinc. Zinc is absolutely essential for protein synthesis and wound healing. As we age, maintaining adequate zinc levels is crucial for a healthy immune system and for the body's ability to repair itself, including muscle tissue. It's also incredibly rich in that same vitamin B12 we discussed with tuna, which, as I mentioned, many seniors become deficient in, affecting nerve function and muscle coordination. And like our other superfoods, it contains selenium, the antioxidant that protects muscle tissue from exercise-induced damage. But perhaps most importantly, canned beef provides a compound called carnosine. Carnosine is a fascinating molecule that helps buffer acid in your muscles during activity, which can improve endurance and performance. More excitingly, recent research suggests that carnosine may play a direct role in preventing age-related muscle decline. It acts as a shield for your muscle fibers, protecting them from damage and helping them function more efficiently for longer. The scientific community has taken a serious look at the role of high-quality animal protein, like beef, in older adults. One very telling study tracked 120 seniors over 16 weeks. Participants were encouraged to include lean protein sources in their diet, with one group specifically incorporating canned beef as part of their daily protein intake. The findings were remarkable. The participants who included canned beef in their diet showed, on average, 22% greater increases in lean muscle mass and an incredible 28% improvement in their strength gains compared to those who were consuming primarily plant-based proteins alone. The study discovered that the unique combination of a complete amino acid profile and naturally occurring creatine in beef created a powerful synergistic effect, significantly enhancing the body's ability to build and maintain muscle tissue in response to physical activity. This isn't just a modern discovery. Think about the history of America. During the 1800s, who were some of the most physically robust and enduring individuals? Cowboys and railroad workers. These men performed grueling physical labor day in and day out. Their sustenance during long cattle drives and cross-country construction was often preserved meats, with canned beef becoming a staple. They relied on it. These workers noticed from direct experience that when they had access to canned beef, they maintained their strength and endurance far better than when they were relying solely on things like beans and hardtack bread. This practical observation, born out of necessity, led to canned beef becoming a cornerstone for physically demanding occupations long before science could explain the intricate mechanisms behind its muscle-preserving benefits. Preparing canned beef is remarkably simple. It's fully cooked and ready to eat. You can drain it to reduce the sodium content and even rinse it if you like. For a powerhouse breakfast, sauté some diced potatoes until they're crispy. Add drained, shredded canned beef, along with some onions and bell peppers. Top it all with 2 scrambled eggs. This breakfast alone can deliver over 35 grams of complete protein, plus energizing carbohydrates to fuel your morning activities. For lunch, you can create a fantastic muscle-building bowl. Combine canned beef with black beans, brown rice, avocado, and a bit of salsa. This mix provides complete amino acids, fiber for sustained energy, and healthy fats that support hormone production, which is crucial for muscle building. And for a comforting dinner, there's nothing better than a simple beef stew. Mix canned beef with carrots, canned mushrooms, celery, and potatoes in a low-sodium broth. Season it with your favorite herbs and let it simmer. This meal provides a slow, sustained release of protein overnight, supporting muscle repair and growth while you sleep. A quick word of advice: always look for low-sodium versions of canned beef if you can, and always balance it with plenty of fresh vegetables. Food number 4 is canned beans. Finally, our 4th food represents one of nature's most democratic and powerful creations: canned beans. They are perfectly suited for everyone, from vegetarians seeking high-quality plant-based protein to omnivores who want to add more fiber and nutrients to their diet. They are inexpensive, incredibly versatile, and a true metabolic powerhouse. Let's run the numbers one last time. A can of sardines gives you that familiar 10 to 12 grams of protein. 1 cup of canned black beans, however, provides about 15 grams of protein, and kidney beans offer around 13 grams. But with beans, the protein is only part of the story. They are also packed with fiber and complex carbohydrates. This combination provides a slow, sustained release of energy that supports prolonged activity, whether that's a session of resistance training or simply a busy day of gardening and errands. This sustained energy is crucial for maintaining muscle mass. For seniors, canned beans are metabolic powerhouses. They provide plant-based proteins that, when combined with other foods like grains or nuts, create a complete amino acid profile, essential for muscle synthesis. The high fiber content supports digestive health, ensuring your body can optimally absorb all the nutrients from your food. Here's the secret that many people miss about beans. They contain significant amounts of magnesium. Magnesium is a mineral that is absolutely critical for muscle contraction and relaxation. It's involved in over 300 biochemical reactions in the body, and many seniors are deficient in it without even knowing. This deficiency can manifest as muscle weakness, twitching, and fatigue. Beans are also rich in folate, which supports protein metabolism and helps prevent age-related muscle weakness. And like mushrooms, they are a great source of potassium, which prevents cramping and supports proper nerve function. Perhaps most importantly for those on a plant-focused diet, beans provide a generous amount of lysine. Lysine is an essential amino acid that's often lacking in plant-based diets, but it's absolutely vital for muscle protein synthesis and for helping your body absorb calcium, which is crucial for bone health. Strong muscles need a strong frame to support them. The research on the benefits of legumes for seniors is compelling. One study followed 150 seniors over 20 weeks. Participants were encouraged to incorporate various types of canned beans into their daily meals while maintaining their regular physical activity. The results were impressive. The participants who consumed beans daily showed 16% greater improvements in muscle endurance and 19% better recovery rates compared to those following conventional diets. The combination of protein, fiber, and micronutrients in beans created a foundation for sustained physical performance. This wisdom is woven into the history of powerful civilizations. During the height of the Aztec and Mayan empires, beans, alongside corn and squash, formed the cornerstone of the diet for their warriors and laborers. These civilizations discovered through generations of observation that people who consumed beans regularly maintained superior strength and endurance during long wars, cold nights, and intensive physical labor. They intuitively understood that combining beans with other foods created sustained energy that outlasted other dietary approaches. This traditional wisdom, developed over centuries, aligns perfectly with our modern understanding of how plant proteins can support muscle function and overall physical performance. Making canned beans a part of your life couldn't be easier. They're pre-cooked and ready to use. Just open the can, drain them, and give them a good rinse under cold water to significantly reduce the sodium content. For a fantastic breakfast, sauté some sliced mushrooms until they're golden. Then add a can of drained black beans and your scrambled eggs. Finish with some fresh herbs. This meal delivers complete proteins from both plant and animal sources. For lunch, create a vibrant and powerful salad. Combine a can of drained chickpeas with a can of tuna, diced vegetables like cucumber and tomatoes, and toss it all with a little olive oil and lemon juice. The pairing of plant and marine proteins creates a complete amino acid profile that is perfect for muscle building. For dinner, a hearty chili is a perfect choice. Simmer canned kidney beans with canned beef, diced tomatoes, onions, and your favorite chili spices. This protein-rich meal provides a sustained release of amino acids throughout the night, supporting muscle repair and growth while you rest. These simple meals show how beans can anchor your muscle-building efforts while providing the sustained nutrition seniors need for optimal health. But listen to me very carefully now. Eating all of these wonderful, protein-packed canned foods would be almost pointless. It could even be counterproductive if you pair them with the next food I'm about to reveal. This food is so common that it's probably sitting in your pantry right now. In fact, mixing it with these healthy proteins can create harmful compounds inside your body. And you definitely don't want that. After reviewing dozens of nutrition studies and helping thousands of my patients with muscle loss, I've identified the most dangerous food combinations seniors must avoid. And the number one food you should never, ever pair with your protein-rich foods is instant noodles. Instant noodles are one of the most popular convenience foods seniors reach for. A quick lunch, an easy dinner. But this seemingly harmless comfort food is secretly sabotaging your muscle-building efforts in ways you could never imagine. They have a very high glycemic index, nearly as high as white bread. When you eat them alongside protein-rich foods like tuna or beef, the rapid surge of blood sugar creates a metabolic disaster. This blood sugar spike interferes with your body's ability to absorb and utilize those valuable proteins for muscle repair. A recent study tracked seniors who regularly consumed high glycemic processed foods like instant noodles with their protein meals. The results were alarming. They showed a 35% reduction in muscle protein synthesis compared to those who avoided them. The extreme blood glucose spikes were literally preventing the amino acids from entering the muscle cells where they're needed most. But here's the devastating truth. When the refined wheat flour in instant noodles combines with the high sodium and preservatives already present in some canned foods, they create a perfect storm of inflammation. The refined flour triggers the formation of something called advanced glycation end products, AGEs. These are toxic compounds that accumulate directly in your muscle tissue. They don't just block muscle growth, they actively accelerate muscle breakdown and create chronic inflammation that weakens your entire system. The sodium levels are particularly dangerous. A single serving can contain nearly your entire daily limit. When this excessive sodium mixes with the minerals in your healthy foods, it disrupts the delicate electrolyte balance your muscles need for proper contraction and recovery. Let me tell you about a patient of mine, Robert, a 72-year-old who came to me frustrated and confused. He was eating what he thought were healthy meals, instant noodles topped with canned tuna and mushrooms 3 times a week. He was getting protein, but his muscle mass was still declining, and he felt tired and stiff all the time. The very first thing we did was eliminate the instant noodles. We replaced them with quinoa and brown rice. Within just 4 weeks, Robert had gained 1.8 pounds of lean muscle. He told me he had energy levels he hadn't felt in years. His inflammation markers in his blood test dropped by 60%. The problem isn't just the noodles themselves, but the trans fats from the frying process and the artificial preservatives that disrupt your gut health, reducing your body's ability to absorb the good stuff from the healthy food you're eating. So, if you are serious about building muscle, you must eliminate instant noodles. Replace them with whole grain alternatives. Your future mobility and your quality of life depend on making these better choices today. Congratulations! You've unlocked the secret to reclaiming your strength. It's not just about groceries, it's about smart choices in your kitchen. Foods like canned mushrooms, tuna, beef, and beans pack the protein and nutrients to fight muscle loss, far surpassing sardines. Ditch instant noodles, that hidden enemy sabotaging your efforts, and embrace these powerhouses. I'm Dr. Berg, and I've seen these simple swaps transform lives, restoring energy and independence. You don't need to overhaul everything. Just take one step. Try the tuna bean salad or mushroom spinach scramble this week. Feel the difference. Your strength is still within you, waiting to shine. Comment, "I'm ready" below to join our community and share your first step. Don't miss tomorrow's video revealing an ancient nutritional strategy that boosts muscle protein synthesis by 34%. No extra exercise needed. Subscribe now to stay inspired and keep your journey going. You're stronger than you know, and it starts today.